Side of ONIC, it's more of a divey composition with a Piquito, with also that Moscow. After what, 3 items mid-game, it's going to be deadly. I mean, Esmeralda can't shake that damage off as well.
Absolutely. Well, you have to see, man. Overall, I think if you want to look at the late game, Aura has that huge, massive range advantage, though, so they will play for that. But for ONIC, they have their own share of playmaking tools. They have the Iron Hook. They have all these engages going on for them. So we'll have to see which team will have the better execution as we go into the Land of Dawn.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are in the Land of Dawn. Aura versus ONIC, game number 1 as both of the junglers go for their natural start. Skyrie taking 2 of the creeps at once with that Balman, you know, just maximizing that Demon Slayer and the Balman in the jungle. But, Kabuki's already coming in. He doesn't get the orange buff, however. Kyrie's still able to pick it up even without the retribution.
Very gambling play. It was a gamble, right? To use that retribution or not. But Kabuki already here in the early game, getting hooked by Samo. But remember, Samo still has that flicker, forced to flicker away. And yeah, that is one spell forced by the side of Our Fire.
Our Fire here, they're making complete use of their early game for sure. They're pressuring the lanes, and look at Fluffy already just scouring the jungle, trying to make sure that he does get in the way of Kyrie. ONIC, though, their response is really well, but ONIC, Godiva as well as Fluffy, they're trying for info for Kabuki.
Kyrie with the retribution seals the deal. Gets the purple buff. Godiva gonna get taken down, and that's Kyrie taking first blood. Kabuki, however, able to get the compensation necessary, but look at CW, and Kyrie picks it up with a lethal counter. The audience prediction by TikTok favors Aura, but in the game right now, it's ONIC wreaking havoc.
ONIC Esports, they are not messing around here, and Kyrie takes no time to do an invade high, trying to do anything he can with this Beatrix, but it seems like for now it is still ONIC Esports controlling the game, controlling the tempo as well.
Retribution. It's gonna be there from Kabuki. Jumps in onto 3 members. But again, Samo, he's putting so much pressure on Aura Fire in the early game with the Franco hooks. Actually baiting out the retribution right as the turtle spawns in. So ONIC will have a slight advantage coming into this first turtle fight.
This is why picking a fighter into the assassin is actually such a great play by ONIC Esports. They can actually match the aggression in the early game, and now Boots initiates for the side of ONIC Esports.
Yeah, both teams still again just hovering around this turtle as Facehugger puts down the Mystic Field and the Dawning Light as well to provide a little bit of poke, but still, Aura don't have any response to this play. It's going to be a free turtle. Kyrie didn't even use the retribution. The lethal counter was all he needed to secure the turtle by the Samsung Galaxy A-Series. But look at CW. He's able to get the kill onto Kabuki with a second ability, pitting Kabuki onto the wall. High picks up the kill, but again, Aura not getting these efficient trades.
Man, that is the Electro Flash comes into play. That Electro Flash restores 30% physical attack HP. So, yeah, I think that Electro Flash just comes into clutch, Arashi.
Speaking of emblems right here, Kabuki also has the killing spree, right? So if he is alone, he gets an advantage. But ONIC has been playing together as a team. They're always trying to go into these skirmishes with 2 members, with 3 members. So he's not getting full efficiency at all for that emblem. And he's struggling to match Kyrie, who is getting full value from the faster clearing on that Balman.
And this is already a very different Aura. Usually when Aura gets the Fanny, they dominate in the early stage.
Yeah, and ONIC Esports, they are managing not just to deflect the movements from the side of Aura Fire, but they are winning. Godiva there. A slight mismechanic perhaps. Pop that flicker. And it seems like Aura Fire, they are losing their control and as well as tempo here in the 3rd minute. We'll have to see Esmeralda. He's getting chunked here. 2 members is on him and he will fall. Boots and as well as Rian, but on the other side.
Now blast onto 3. There you go with the Valentina. He's able to steal it away as Godiva tries to put the damage back on to the team. Kyrie, did he actually steal the purple buff? Well, Godiva is going to have to run for his life because Kyrie and Boots are here to take him down even under the turret. It's a double kill picked up and Aura are getting outclassed. And yes, Kyrie took the purple buff away from Kabuki.
Already here in the 4th minute. But Polystorm here just to deal a little bit of damage. Now, their main focus for side of Aura Fire is to clear the mid side, which of course with that ult from Xavier, they will manage to do so. But now tempo has gone down here. CW already farming like heck with on this Moskov. I feel like minute number 7 is going to be crazy for this guy already.
Well, fun fact by Grab here, ONIC and Our Fire are the two teams that has not been defeated in MPL-ID Season 10. And right now, it is on the side of ONIC Esports, the tempo of the game that is. And honestly, Drian stealing away the Numenon Blast, that was such a smart play, and I think we can look forward to even more of that, because he has so many options. There's so many good ultimates on the side of Our Fire and ONIC Esports. They orchestrate a dive right here.
Oh, it's another dive here. Drian with the Numenon Blast, able to pin someone down. It's only Godiva though, as Kabuki jumps in for some damage. Another Numenon Blast by Godiva, but ONIC with the disengage to get out.
Man, oh man, it's a very, very, I don't know. It seems like ONIC Esports, they are controlling the game here. But what can Oro do here at this stage, Arashi? You have to wait here as a 3v2 situation outside. Another dive. Samo taking the turret here.
Yeah, Samo just pushing them off, putting some pressure down as he goes for an iron hook. He actually gets the Beatrix there down below.
Whoa.
And the Beatrix will be taken down. No, he just gets out barely, but CW is able to chase him down. Dawning Light onto 3, and that's Kabuki coming in with the damage. Not enough. CW with the Spear of Misery. Just not letting Kabuki play the game. Fluffy though, jumping with the falling star moon onto CW. That's gonna be the Monon's blast by Drian. Actually very nicely placed onto Fluffy as CW makes his escape. Boots as well comes in for the knockout strike, and Kyrie picks it up with the lethal counter. CW, he gets out, and Kabuki is gonna get taken down. ONIC, clinical display.
Debated. I mean, all of them are members. They are trying to desperately get that kill. But it seems like the teamwork, the synergy, coordination from ONIC Esports, it's just too much. And now Aura Fire, they are behind 5,000 in what, 6 minutes, Arashi. This is not a good sign.
It's absolutely not a good sign. There's only 2 kills on the board for Aura Fire, and we mentioned how they like to win the team fights early on and then use that advantage to get the objectives. But ONIC Esports, they're not even letting that go, so they take all the objectives, they're winning all the fights and surviving with barely a sliver of HP. I think Aura Fire, they have to try and play together here, because you see if they go in at the same time, they have a better chance. But CW, wow, he gets out.
And Samo too.
Oh, cancel.
Oh my god! Samo gets the iron hook onto high. He's gonna fall. My goodness, ONIC Esports completely outclassing Aura Fire.
Wow, they are reading Aura Fire like a book there. And yeah, well-timed Bloody Hunt to cover. This is to cover CW, his gold laner, and both of the members survive. Item-wise here, Arashi.
Wait a minute though. There's another fight here as Kyrie dives in deep under the tier 1. You will not find anyone except for a turret. Arashi, again, time to take a look at the items.
Well, Boots on the Paquito has a Bloodlust Axe, so he can be a lot more dynamic in those fights. And whereas we can look at Facehugger, he only has the Clock of Destiny and the cooldown boots, so he doesn't have nearly enough utility to try and poke down or even deal damage. Same thing for High, he has the BOD, but that's about it. They are so behind, and they do not have enough damage to burst down the members from ONIC Esports. The only one they can possibly try and get is Drian and CW, but with 3 very strong front lines in Kyrie, Boots, and Samo HT, right? 3 fighters, 3 tanks in the front line. ONIC Esports can just bully them away from the objectives and actually take slowly and surely take the objectives from Aura Fire.
Yeah, I mean, item-wise, I do want to point out that a Genius one was built as well, so... Valentina by Drian, so Valentina is going to deal a lot of damage here, but Kyrie opening up the map.
Way too tanky. That was, what, Dawning Light, Mystic Field, everything actually popped there to just deal a little bit of damage onto Kyrie. What items did he have, Arashi?
Kyrie already has an Antique Cuirass. He has a Sky Guardian helmet as well, I believe.
God.
So he has a lot of HP to try and absorb the damage coming in from Aura Fire. And I don't know, they incur a lot of time as CW.
A solo kill.
That is ridiculous.
Against a Fanny with High and Dry.
1-for-1 here, port side of Kabuki. Not good. I mean, ONIC Esports is just dismantling Aura Fire's defense here. Last turret, bot side before the base turret, and it seems like they are stepping on the gas here with this first Lord unenhanced though. But we'll see, can Aura Fire defend this one? Looking at their composition, I mean, they have Beatrix, they have as well as Xavier, and as well as Lolita, so their high ground is still a-okay.
Facehugger has the enchanted talisman built right now, so a lot more cooldown reduction, a lot more regeneration on that mana that he needs to clear those waves. But the question is, how long will that last? Because ONIC Esports, all they have to do is bully the members of Aura away. Wow. Deny everything just like that, and then once Aura is on the back foot, they rely on Samo to get a hook, and Aura will be already moving backwards, and they won't be, available to try and save their comrades.
Aura are sweating in their own jungle, and they need the new Axe effect. With the new upgraded dual action Dio body spray, shush! They can fight up that sweat, man.
You can fight up that sweat. And I do want to add this. Season 9, Fenris Kabuki is so notorious.
Yeah.
And now, 11,000 gold difference here. ONIC Esports, they are, like you said, outclassing Aura Fire. We'll see with the sword push.
Let's see. They still have a whole lot of high ground defense with High on that Bennett and Facehugger obviously on the Xavier. They are able to clear out the Lord, but it is only the first Lord, the unenhanced one. ONIC though, Samo with a flicker, he gets Facehugger! And just like that, they're able to find a pick. Meanwhile, Kabuki jumping in will just get slaughtered by CW. Godiva with the shield, a 3v4 situation right now. Zrian isn't able to finish Godiva off. They're picking up the turrets on the right, and it's actually going to be Aura who still manages to defend. However, ONIC pick up a turret down below.
Hey, one base turret falls here. Two structures left for the side of Aura Fire. Still the base exposed the base, but now ONIC Esports. Nonian Blast by Drian will not connect on towards anyone. Aura Fire still holding on here. Hi. Finally, after a long time, he secures that Hunter Strike. So there's penetration, but we'll have to see here. Is it too late?
Instant replay by the Samsung Galaxy A series right here, and look at ONIC. They just control the waves, and Samo, understanding that now Aura is looking for to dodge away from the Iron Hook, he just goes in with the flicker and completely catches Aura Fire off guard, and the instant follow-up by ONIC Esports is just deadly, man. Aura Fire, they need to find a solution, because right now, they're just waiting for the members of ONIC Esports to get the value play, and then they react always just slightly too late. Damage dealt by Axe here shows Drian is doing a lot of damage, but so is Boots, and Facehugger on that Xavier with a lot of poke. He is still all the way down, even below CW.
Yeah, Godiva gonna get hooked, instantly burst it down here, and Godiva actually still managing to survive there with the Dawning Light to help him out. But yeah, Kabuki, I was right. All right, so I gasped earlier when you were analyzing Arashi because Drian took Kabuki's purple buff away. So I think the last time Kabuki actually got a purple buff was when he was level 3.
I think so. So yeah, a very tough game here for that Fanny. Drian now, he has the Holy Crystal here. So the BOD of Fort Magical has been secured by Drian. We'll have to see here the impact as the Lord, the Enhanced Lord, now is up, and Kabuki, no purple buffs.
They're denying Kabuki his playmaking before it even begins, man. He's just not he's just not getting any opportunity to try and make anything happen. No farm, no EXP, right? No purple buff. What can he do? Even right now, CW can solo kill him, so he has no options at all in the jungle. ONIC Esports will take the Lord, and they will struggle for control again as the hook gets blocked in by Godiva. But again, Aura Fire, they have to try and do something different, man, because it's just a matter of time at this point.
We'll have to see here as Lord is now going to march bot side. 2 base turrets left for side of our own. Kyrie here might be caught. 4 members is on him. Oh my god, he gets the stun. He gets
tanky.
The resource is just on him, but now the backup. Boots and friends. Iron Hook connects, and Boots will come into play. Facehugger is down. It's Godiva. It's not looking good. He also falls, and now 3 members is left defending the base.
Oh man, Kabuki even gonna get taken down once again. Aura Fire have done everything they can, but it does not matter. Samo finds another, and ONIC will take game number 1, absolutely obliterating the Dragons.
Man, yeah, ONIC Esports is just too clean against Aura Fire. They're very sharp. Aura Fire from the early game, Arashi, they had little chance to turn the game around. What happened?
Even in the earlier moments when they went for the outplays, ONIC were just too good on the read. They were outmaneuvering, outplaying Aura at every turn. And when it comes down to those late game fights, we already know that ONIC is solid, but this is just something else, man. Aura is not a team that usually gets dominated. They usually put up a fight at least, but ONIC made them look like amateurs, man. Made them look like they have bad rotations, like they have no map awareness. They were just able to control the whole map and make sure that Aura at every turn will run into a member. And even how they play out the team fights, just perfection, man. Baiting out his spells with the tankier members and then letting Samo get the iron hooks onto the priority members. That is just so clean. It is obscene, man.
Man, I have no words. I mean, game number 1, I expect a little fight from the side of Aura Fire, right? I mean, remember, they were the 3rd place of Season 9. Sure, ONIC is the 2nd, but I expect more drama, more fights coming from this team, from at least from Facehugger himself. But it's little too none. I see no chances to turn from Aura Fire to turn the game around.
And the fact that ONIC left the Fanny open for Kabuki to take, those were signature picks from Aura Fire, and they still were dominated from the early stage of the game where Fanny was supposed to be the one dominating. This is not a good look for Aura, but it is an incredible look for ONIC. They are in form, they are ready. Going up against this team with Kabuki on the Fanny, they made it feel like it's another ranked game.
Yeah, okay, it's a mistake almost. I think teams are just getting more prepared to actually deal with aggressive compositions, because we've seen this in different regions as well, where, okay, you have a strong team composition, we know you're going to invade, we're going to prepare for that, cater our composition and our game plan in the early game to try and screw that over. And in this game, you can see that they were prepared for Kabuki to try and make those plays, and they perfectly countered it completely. Even when Fluffy tries to get involved, even when the rest of Aura Fire try and pressure in the map, ONIC were just calm, calculated, and they made sure that worst comes to shove, Kabuki gets taken out, and even Kairi was able to pick up the first blood. So I think it all began from there in the early game, and they just put Aura on the back foot completely, and from then on, it's just about ONIC with the clinical execution. They have no issue, they have to just ensure that they don't make any big mistakes, and the game is just GG.
The game is just GG. I mean, 2 lords is what ONIC needs just to end the game. Miracle as well as Orochi. See the reaction from both sides here. Yeah, the ONIC sides, they, of course, a textbook game, right? It's essentially a textbook game. From the early game, they know what to do. They have claimed all of the neutral objectives. Aura Fire didn't stand a chance, even though a Fanny is a mobile hero, but it seems like it was actually Bauman and friends who is able to do more setups, to do more proactive movements. It's sad to see if you're an Aura fan.
Oh, for sure. And man, Boots on the Paquito as well. What a performance. He's so good on the Paquito. We saw so many highlight plays that he was able to make in the first week on this Paquito, and it's still left open. That's why they prioritized the Paquito over the Beatrix. They picked up a Moskov, a hero that we haven't seen in the MPL for so long. I think the last time we actually saw this Moskov was at MSC when Orange Esports Balance played it against RSG. Man, let's take a look at the item builds, because I am very curious to see how Kairi was able to fend off 5 Aura members in that last team fight.
Well, looking at the items right now, Sky Guardian helmet.
Oh, that explains it.
Curse helmet, Radiant armor, Dreadnought armor as well right now, and a Blade armor as well. So there's just so many tankiness items, and it's all catered to the purposes, right? He knows that he has no real need to stack any kind of magic defense. So he just went full for the physical, and he was able to just sit there and take all the punishment from Aura Fire.
Absolutely, but Arashi, there's one thing that I want to point out, right? This would be normal if you just look at it. If you look at the item sheet, you're like, all right, that's the normal Balin build. What's so impressive? He did this. He got all of his items almost in 14 minutes of playtime.
Yep. I mean, in the same vein, CW also nearly on full items right here. So ONIC, we talked about how they're always so efficient. They're able to actually take control of the game, take objectives and fights, and still farm up a storm. That is the difficult part about dealing with ONIC Esports. We take a look at the post-game stats here, where the damage to tower and the objective rate really tells you the whole story of the game.
What?
And Facehugger has 0 kill participation. This is just completely unexpected.
It's a shutout.
It's a shutout. It's a shutout, and yeah, again, all of the neutral objectives, and as well as turret. just falls. 0. Fall flat here from the side of our fire. All of the
It's
neutral
tough.
objective goes to the hands of ONIC Esports.
Rashi, the last time we saw Aura like this was back in Season 7.
Right. This is not a very encouraging trend for them for sure. But we have to see. Adjustments need to be made. Adaptability is going to be very important in coming into the second game.
Drian MVP?
But MVP for this game right here, it will be Samo HT, presented to you by the Samsung Galaxy A53 5G. And man, his Franco was just solid, man. He wasn't really doing anything too flashy, at least in the beginning. But once it goes to the late game, in the mid game to late game situation, he was just able to actually get not often hooks, but very impactful hooks,
Crucial
right?
hooks.
On the members that actually makes the hook count. So I think it's just really smart. It shows his game IQ for sure. And yeah, I think.